7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We have ignition.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Rest Period After Dark. I think this is episode 3, which would make sense because it's week 3. But actually, I think it's episode 4 because we had the week before, like the preemptive getting into it. So it's episode 4. But week 3 of the NFL is almost in the books. Obviously, the Monday night game is still going on. But yeah, we're gonna break down the games for the week. Go through some pretenders and contenders, and yeah, it should be a fun episode.
Yeah, week 3, this is where everything you thought you knew about the NFL starts to get turned on its head. So, a couple crazy games this week. We'll get into it, but, you know, obviously our dear Packers and Rams both took some hard L's, so got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're just going to go through each game here. Obviously, the first game to start out week 3 was Bills-Dolphins. I think Lombardi's got to take this one. Obviously, he's got the Bills jersey on. That's his team. Let us know.
Yeah, so guys, watch that game. I was shocked that the Dolphins, they stayed right with us the whole game and even threatened us late. I was a little surprised. I'll be honest with you guys. Dolphins put up a good fight, so I'm gonna first say, man, that was pretty good on their part. They played well. Tua played pretty well most of the game. Tyreek Hill had a nice touchdown. Yeah, they have some playmakers, so I'll give them a little bit of credit on their end because I thought it'd be more of a blowout. So bad on me, right? You never underestimate your opponent. On the Bills side, they played better defense, I thought. So they gave a lot of points to the Ravens week 1. They played a little bit better on defense in this game against the Dolphins, but I don't know. They couldn't convert, man. They weren't throwing the ball quite as well as I was hoping, and receivers weren't quite as open as they should have been. But James Cook played well, and I know Hulk loves James Cook, and I'm with him. So he played well. I thought he had a good game, receiving and rushing. He's a threat, man. James Cook's really good. Josh Allen played pretty well. But again, I kind of watched the Bills, and I'm a little concerned. They're not dominant on defense, and then the receivers weren't making a lot of plays. So that's my 2 cents. That's kind of my fan / analyst look at it. But I thought they were a little bit flat at certain times. So you guys can take it from there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm gonna kind of turn this over to Matt because he's all in. He was all in at the Dolphins to start the year, and he was all in on Tua. And Tua has now 3 weeks in a row thrown at least 1 interception. So I just want to give Matt, what's going on with these boys, Matt? What's going on with Tua?
It's still early. Cut the guy some slack, It's definitely still early on his road back. He's a gunslinger. I mean, I think it's hard to get injured like that and, come back playing at that speed and not just make some mistakes. I mean, he did not throw the worst interception of the weekend, at least. Unfortunately, that goes to our boy Jordan Love. But, I think we said this last week.
He threw a bad interception, though. It was the second worst of the weekend. But anyways, no, Tua played pretty well overall, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, he only threw for like 150 yards. It's still it's early. I mean, I think of all my playoff picks, the Dolphins are definitely looking the most suspect. There's no doubt about that. But we'll see. I think they can still sneak up on some teams. The AFC East is pretty weak. This just kind of seems like a game where Buffalo, they knew they were gonna win, and so they tried just hard enough to get the W. It's like one of those weeks, right? Like a division matchup, you don't really have to leave it all on the field every week. Like, Josh Allen only threw for like 200 yards. Obviously Cook was running pretty wild, but yeah, we'll see with Miami. They always seem to get hotter on the back half. So
Yeah, I mean, I know you're still kind of holding out hope that the Dolphins are going to make the playoffs, but I think I saw a stat. I think it was this week. I heard about it, but like teams that start out the year going 0-3, they're already like an 80% chance they're not going to make the playoffs. So maybe the Dolphins just are that 20% and they can come back and win enough games to slide into the playoffs, but they're not going to win their division. So they're going to have to hope for a wild card spot. I really think it's going to be tough. I think there are other teams, particularly in the AFC, that are in a lot better position right now to steal one of those 2 wild card spots. I think it's going to be a tough outing for the Dolphins to, they might. I might even be able to confidently say they're not going to make the playoffs at this point. Like it's pretty close. I mean, they're not out like 100%, but I would say they're as close. They're pretty close to being done early.
yeah, the next couple of weeks will I think kind of seal their fate. But they're playing the Jets, Panthers, Chargers, Browns, Falcons. So pretty easy stretch here. It's a little bit harder later on, but yeah. I guess TBD. I'm not feeling great about that playoff pick, but still early.
He's saying still early, but you never know, right? But to be clear, I was actually a little bit scared during that game, so I don't even care about the stats. Tua could have had a shot at us, but the Dolphins made multiple stupid plays at the end of the game. Tua almost had a chance to drive them down and take a lead on the Bills in the fourth quarter. So I don't like sometimes stats are misleading. I think Tua was pretty accurate most of the game. He was doing a good job of being efficient. Dude, they were tied. So that game was closer than it looks on, the final score. I get it. The Bills won by 10, but I was scared, man. I'm a fan of the Bills. And the Dolphins are always the sneaky team in December that's playing well, right? And teams hate playing in Miami, in December and January. So if they can figure out that offense, yeah, I think they'll be better than people are thinking. They always are pretty bad in September, but I think I'm with Hulk though. I think they're going to miss the playoffs, statistically, and what I saw on the field, I don't think they have quite enough, but be clear, their offense is good. So they're going to give some teams some issues. I think they'll improve as the season goes. Tyreek Hill is still Tyreek Hill, man. He's still fast. But anyways, yeah. My final say on this is the Bills played down to their opponent, and we saw that with one other team that I like too. So, it's just how it goes sometimes. Some weeks are like that. So.
Yeah, in typical Bills fashion, they played down to their competition. It's unfortunate.
It's true. No, it's true. Yeah, they played down to who they were going against.
Not the same team that played the Ravens in week 1. That scored like 40 points on the Ravens in week 1. But yeah. Next game on the docket, Carolina, Atlanta. Wow. Carolina dropped a 30 piece on the Atlanta Falcons, and also the defense shut them out. My initial look through of just this game, I didn't see this game, but I'm just looking at the stats. I mean, Bryce Young didn't have a good game. So it wasn't Bryce Young that won them this game. It's definitely their defense. It was definitely their ability to run the ball. They had multiple running backs, and a couple of them scored a touchdown. They had 2 running backs that scored a touchdown. So yeah, I mean, this is honestly kind of a shocker because I thought the Carolina was probably in the running for the worst team in the NFL. I still kind of think that. They're up there with the Browns, I think, within the running for the worst team in the NFL. But, we'll get into the Browns too because they also stole a win this week. So, I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts? 30-0. Pretty crazy.
A good take. That's a good take, Hulk. I think Carolina ran the ball with Mr. Hubbard. Hubbard's pretty good. So I mean, they got some good running backs. They took a first round pick on a receiver, McMillan. Their defense obviously played well. I talked to my buddy Dave, who was on our podcast, 5 or 6 weeks ago, and he basically said they just didn't show up. The behind the scenes on that is, hey man, sometimes your team doesn't show up, your offense doesn't show up. The quarterback Penix did not play well. Bijan, hey, we think Bijan's a great player, guys. He just didn't have a very good week, So in fantasy world, he obviously probably lost a bunch of people their game this week. Penix in my other fantasy league, he had 3.6 points.
I'm losing because of Bijan.
Yeah, exactly.
I have Bijan on my
yeah,
team.
that's what I'm saying. I think Bijan lost a bunch of people their games this week. And he's a great player. He had a really bad week. Not to dig in too much. Sometimes this happens, you have a bad week. But no, I think I got to give the Panthers a lot of credit. They played good defense and good for them. Hey, I agree they're not great, but they definitely have to improve.
Yeah, Bijan definitely lost me this week. And just looking at the game tonight, I mean, I still had Lamar and Zay, but Zay's not really getting a lot of targets, and it's a low-scoring game, which has not helped doing me any favors. I almost kept it close because of my defense, but we'll get into that. Later when we get to that game. But yeah, Matt, any thoughts? Any thoughts on Carolina?
This is just one of those games where it's like any given Sunday, especially the bottom half of the league, like anybody can kind of wipe the floor with anybody else. Reminder that they're all NFL players. It's crazy because the Falcons ran through the Vikings a couple weeks ago, and then we saw what the Vikings did to the Bengals this weekend. And you got the Panthers, shutting out the Falcons. It's just that early season kind of you get some crazy score lines you're not expecting.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, really nothing gives off any given Sunday than the next game on the list, which kind of in a similar way, Packers and Browns. Lombardi, what's going on with your Packers, man? What happened there?
Sorry, I had to move rooms because I am too loud in my house, apparently. But yeah, I think, so I watched that game on DVR. So I get home, I'm watching that game. I get through the third quarter. I'm like, this game's over. And our defense was dominant. Joe Flacco was doing nothing. And I think you guys know the story. I mean, I know Matt watched it, but I don't know, man. We were playing in Cleveland, and it just fell apart in the fourth quarter. They scored 10 points in 37 seconds. They had a field goal. And then obviously we got the ball, and Jordan Love threw on third down, mind you, deep in their territory. He throws a terrible interception on a slant route. Newsome was sitting the route. I got to tell you guys, the Browns defense is no joke. The Browns defense is no joke. They are really good. Our offense was miserable, and their offense did nothing. So I got to give a little credit to the Browns defense, but Jordan Love just got to be better. That's a bad interception, right? But on top of that, we miss, we get a blocked field goal to basically seal our fate, man. It's really unfortunate. But again, the Browns, Shelby Harris, shout out, Goggins kind of knows who he is. He's from Homestead, Mequon, Wisconsin. I mean, Shelby Harris, I remember him doing this with the Broncos. He was blocking field goals left and right, man. So they made these little plays, and you know what? The Packers, I don't know, man. They flopped. They flopped in Cleveland, and there's not much more to say other than you got to move on to the next week. In 1996, when the Packers won the Super Bowl and they had the best defense in the NFL, they were 3-2 in the first 5 games. So I basically don't care if they're undefeated through 5 games. They're probably going to be 4-1, 3-2 in that range. I think they're a team that gets crazy hot as the season goes on. And you guys saw it. Their offensive line couldn't block anyone. So they got to figure that out. That's where I'm seeing some problems. Offensive line plays bad, and a
Yeah.
lot of analysts said that too. But
Miles Garrett was wrecking havoc.
Myles Garrett's good. That boy's
Yeah.
good. I got to give him credit, man. Hey, I got to give the Browns credit. They got us. They got us. That was good for them. It was definitely not Flacco in the offense, but yeah, Goggins, what do you got, man? You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna get humbled like that, you want to do it early. Like, get it out of the way. Remind the boys that they have some work to do on offense. We knew that there was gonna be offensive struggles. Like, Jordan Love's he's a solid quarterback, kind of works well in the system, but it's like 1 in every 10 games they just have these offensive duds where like no one seems to be open, they're out of sync, they're just not, just like a different team. And like you said, props to the Browns. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I think the Browns are a good defense or a particularly good football team. I think they were whatever. Overall defensively, they're like pretty middle of the league.
They're number 1 in the league, Goggins.
Number 1. I thought they were number 16 on something that I was reading.
They're number 1 in yards allowed, and no, they got beat up on points allowed because their offense is so bad. But they're number 1 in the league in yards allowed by a lot. They're really good.
Yeah, you sure it's not point differential instead of points allowed? It might be point differential. I'm not sure.
So they gave up a bunch of points to the Ravens in week 2, but it's because of the Browns' offense just was really terrible. The defense was awesome, man. I'm telling you right now, the Browns' defense, they were number 1 in 2023. Last year they had a little bit of a down year, but they got some absolute dogs. So I actually would say the opposite, Goggins. Their defense is number 1 in the league. I think they're the best defense that I've seen. They're better than the Packers defense. They have no offense, 0 offense. So they caught us off guard, man. Their defense was, they were boxing us, like they were just throwing us around, and we got to be better. Our offensive line's got to be better. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, statistics aside, if I could say one thing from 20 years of watching football, it's that the Browns suck and they're not a team you want to lose to. But it's it was, you knew it was coming too. Like the way that second half was unfolding, it was like just like threading the needle of everything. Every play that the Packers needed something to tip their way was like just out of reach. Shut them down defensively all day. Obviously, like an untimely interception and just. Yeah, Shelby Harris putting his hands up on the field goal, representing the Highlanders. But it's a good reality check. It's a good like level setting game reminder that the season's long and we gotta keep grinding. No win comes for free. So
yeah, I mean, I think that the Browns have the best defense in the league. But it's hard to win games when you can't score points. So you can have the best defense in the league, but if your offense can't score points, you're not going to win very many games. Obviously, I think this is definitely a fluke, at least for the Packers. I think the Packers are still really good. I think they're still going to have a really good season. I think Jordan Love is going to bounce back. I still got him going far in the playoffs, if not making the Super Bowl. So this did not deter my prediction for the Packers this year. So
I like it. Yeah. I mean, Goggins and I are a little bit more fans, so it's hard when you're, I mean, to me emotionally, I was like, damn, what just happened, but you got to remember it's a long season, the Patriots and Tom Brady went through this, Peyton Manning, the year he won the Super Bowl, went through this. So yeah, I think we definitely still have, it hurts. I mean, it definitely hurt when it happened, but I think the Packers have the right stuff to win it all. So I'm going to go with that too. So I'm going to keep hope.
I don't know about winning it all, but I do think they'll make the Super Bowl. But the next game on the docket is another one that's near and dear to my heart. Jacksonville Jaguars, Houston Texans. Houston has fallen to 0-3. I can't be happier, honestly. I mean, we talked about this though. Like I think we talked about this, Kyle, in episode 1. We thought Houston was going to have a down year this year, and we couldn't have been more right. They're 0-3. CJ Stroud is not looking that great. And he falls to T-Law and the Jaguars, who we also thought weren't that good. But, I mean, it honestly couldn't be better set up for the Colts to make the playoffs now. I mean, they're up 2 games on everybody in our division. So it's been a good one. It's been a good one. It's really all I can say. But I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on this game.
Yeah, I mean, this is a dream start for your Indianapolis Colts. I don't think we could have drawn up a better first 3 weeks of the season for the Colts. Yeah, everyone that you wanted to see kind of show some signs of trouble is showing those signs. And, like, I mean, the Colts are just running through people so far. So
Absolutely.
The only positive was Nico Collins got me 20 points in fantasy football. So
Nico Collins had himself a game.
he had a game. I could care less about the Texans though, so I love it. I'm glad they lost, and
it's actually kind of surprising because I mean I actually had the Texans still winning the division.
So did I.
I predicted them to win the division. So I mean, I think Matt was the only one that said that the Texans are going to have a down year this year, actually. So it was really just Matt. I knew somebody said it. I knew somebody in this group said the Texans are going to have a bad year. And Matt, you were absolutely correct. So I got to give it to you for that.
I just didn't want to see them play wild card weekend, man. That's what I was saying. I'm tired of seeing the Texans lose that wild card weekend. Let's get somebody else in there. Get some new blood in the playoffs.
I'm actually shocked. I'm shocked by this. I mean, the Colts are awesome, by the way, but I can't believe the Texans are. Yeah, how are they so bad? Anyways.
I mean, their team isn't that much different. I mean, their team isn't that much different from the year before, and they were pretty dominant. Like, they won quite a few games last year and the year before that. They made the playoffs, like, basically 2-3 seasons in a row. And
my
all
only
of a sudden,
guess,
they're just
my only
struggling.
guess, Goggins and Hulk, that they're having a down year is Joe Mixon, their really good running back's been out. And I think he's supposed to be back, I think, in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So you could see a big bounce back from the Texans because Joe Mixon's one of the top 10 running backs in the NFL. I think that's part of the reason they're struggling on offense is Joe Mixon's not there. But yeah, Nico Collins, who's on my fantasy team, I don't know, he had a good game. CJ Stroud was a little bit better, but Jacksonville outplayed him, man. So maybe they're better than I was saying. I know that. Maybe they're a little bit better than people thought. So
Jacksonville honestly should be 3-0 right now. They should have snuck a win out on the Bengals. The Bengals got out of that game with a win by the skin of their teeth without Joe Burrow. But, like, if the Jaguars were 3-0, they would be like the biggest pretender out of that entire list if they were on that list.
I think so too, yeah.
Trevor Lawrence did not have a good game. Like, this was Houston-Jacksonville. It was just bad football around. You know, Jacksonville was just less bad.
I do like
that's
Travis
why they won
Hunter,
this game.
though. Hulk, I love Travis Hunter. He's playing two ways, Deion Sanders style for Jacksonville. I love that guy. Maybe that's my story of the year right there as a rookie playing two-way football. Other than that, this is just a boring matchup against two teams that,
are not very good.
We just don't think they're very good. That's the honest truth. Rest Period After Dark is calling this. It's two teams that are below average right now, so it's just kind of true,
This is a tank bowl if I've ever seen one.
But South, that's Colts country. Anything in the AFC South, owned by Indianapolis at this point. We're not thinking too hard about the rest of that bunch.
Yeah. I do like Travis Etienne though. He's really good.
Yeah, he's good. I'm with you.
I wish he was on a different team. And also
talented.
Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk was Jacksonville made.
And Brian Thomas, the receiver. I mean, they have some cats over there, but man, both teams are kind of not relevant, right? Oh,
No.
Are we on the Colts next? What game do we got next, Hulk?
We don't have the Colts
Man,
next.
I'm just fired up to talk Colts, anyways.
We're saving the Colts for a little bit later. We got a few more games to get through. The next game is Bengals Vikings. And all I can say about this game is, dang, does Cincinnati need Joe Burrow? He was freaking carrying him on his back. I'm surprised he doesn't have back pain like Stafford. He's been carrying so much weight for this team.
They've been calling Matthew Stafford the iron spine. Matthew Iron Spine is what they're saying. But man, seeing Carson Wentz playing again in a Vikings jersey, I'm kind of worried about the Vikings all of a sudden. Like, Carson Wentz is that guy that he just kind of like, he's like the Undertaker. He comes when you least expect him onto the team that needs him most, and just like suddenly he turns these chop shops into playoff teams. So I don't know. That's kind of like, I didn't even realize that he was in Minnesota, and like with McCarthy taking a seat, I'm a little worried about him.
Yeah, I saw that too. So he got traded to the Colts, and then he basically flamed out, and then they signed him as a backup. I think you got a really good quarterback there. So I don't know. He might be the new starter, right? Is that what you're saying, Goggins? He might be the new guy.
He didn't have to do much left. I had the Vikings defense in fantasy. They put up like 40 points. That was unbelievable. I think they had like 5 turnovers, 2 for touchdowns, which was just.
Who was the corner? Yeah. Their cornerback had 2 touchdowns. He had a pick 6 and a fumble return for a touchdown, which has never happened in Vikings history. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Isaiah Rodgers.
Rodgers, yeah.
It's Isaiah Rodgers. Yeah, I don't think that Carson Wentz is a good quarterback. I think the Bengals defense is just really bad. That's what I think. I think that's the take. I think Joe Burrow basically had to put up 50 points every week just so that the Bengals could win games. That's how bad the Bengals defense has been historically. So, but Jake Browning, he's not the guy. That guy in the comments that was telling us that the offensive line was better with him, he didn't know what he was talking about. That guy was this weekend.
That guy was smoking something, Hulk.
They were calling him out.
But
you can't.
I think the Vikings. By the way, the Vikings, they came out and did what they were supposed to, which was way better than what the Packers did. Hey man, like the Vikings, I give credit to them. They beat a team that was inferior. And hey, my Packers did not do that. So I'm kind of scratching my head on that part. Like the Vikings, they rolled the Bengals. The Bengals still had talent, but obviously their quarterback was not very good, and their defense couldn't stop anybody. So, but I don't know, man. I just don't want the Vikings to be good. So Carson Wentz, please hear me. Just be average or below average like you have been for a while. Thank you. What is he?
Just to clarify, we're calling out Chris Myers, V2P. Fun fact, when Browning comes in for Burrow, the Bengals O-line goes from amongst the worst in the league to top 15 in the league. I want to check
talking
fun
about
facts.
What is this guy talking about?
I don't know.
So he's blaming Joe Burrow?
Yeah, I don't think that guy knows what he was talking about, but this Vikings win and Packers loss really shakes things up in the NFC North, because the Vikings are tied for first place now.
Yeah, man, they're right there.
And if the Lions lose tonight,
2-1.
And my Lions, who I projected to win it, they lose tonight, they drop to 1-2.
What's that score, Hulk? I don't see the game. What's the score of that Lions-Ravens game right now? It's 31-24 with 1:56. So it looks like the Lions are going to take it. Okay, I got you.
Well, the Lions are about to punt the ball. It looks like.
So the Ravens are getting the ball. Okay.
4th and 2 on the 49-yard line. Yeah, that's.
Give me like 1 second. I'm going to get my iPad. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, no, that division is really. If the Lions lose this game, they have the same record as the Bears. I'm just gonna let that simmer for a second.
Yeah, we gotta talk about the Bears this week.
Yeah, Lombardi. If the Lions lose this game, they have the same record as the Bears. That's all I'm saying.
Duh, Bears.
The Moscow Bears.
The Moscow Bears. That's our new shirt. We got to talk for a second about
the team that they dropped 58 on or something, 56 points on. They're going to have the same record as them.
That's kind of funny, actually. Dude, the Moscow Bears make sense. Let's go back to this. Anyways, all right. Why did the Lions? Wait a second. The Lions have the ball. What happened, guys? They didn't punt.
They go for it on fourth?
They
Wish
just
they
scored a
did.
touchdown. The Lions just scored.
That's game.
That game's
That's
over.
game, set,
That game's
match.
over, guys. It's 37-24.
I think we can safely say that the Lions are going to survive having the same record as the Bears, and we now have a 3-way tie for first place in the NFC North.
Wow.
I mean, this is
Man, that's
exactly
the-
what I said. This is a freaking dogfight of a division. I mean, all of these.
For sure.
You take away the Bears, just the Bears can leave, go to Moscow, whatever.
Moscow,
We don't care.
get 'em outta
We
here.
don't care
Make a
about the
shirt.
Bears. But Vikings, Lions, Packers. I mean, it's a dogfight every season. It's going to be close. I still think the Lions are going to get the best of it in the end. Though I'm still holding firm on that. They are.
look pretty. They look pretty good tonight. Honest, they're kind of rolling the Ravens. I'm a little surprised right now, Hulk. This is
Yeah.
surprising
Yeah.
to me. I'll give
Well,
him.
they
I'll
just
give
went,
him that.
they
man.
just went for a fourth down. 2 minutes left on the 50
Oh, that's
yard
what
line.
happened. Okay,
Yeah, they went
missed
for it
that.
on
Sorry.
fourth. 20-yard pass.
Good for
Yeah,
them.
that's,
They
that's
take
bold.
risks. The Lions are good. We gotta say that. I mean, they're right there with the Packers. We've been saying that, but man, oh man, I just wish Ben Johnson would have left, gone to Chicago, and the Lions would have sucked. But that's not happening. So I guess they're still going to be solid here. But
Yeah, I mean the Baltimore Ravens, man. Just they're going to be 1-2 to start the year. Jared Goff had a pretty decent game. They ran the ball like freaking insane.
yeah, so
David
Gibbs and
Montgomery with
Montgomery.
151 yards, 2 touchdowns. Both of them have 2 touchdowns. That's why you're crushing me. You
Sorry,
got both of them on
Hulkster.
your team.
So you guys question my 2 Lions running back platoon, and now look at you.
I'm not questioning it anymore, Lombardi.
Well, I'm getting lucky. I'll be honest. It won't work all season, but no, the Lions, man, they look pretty good.
You called it earlier. The Lions they just score a lot of points. They got a lot of offense.
They do. They're a fun offense. I don't like the Lions, but man, they're a fun team. So,
What's the
what
story?
game? Sorry, what game were we on? We were on the Vikings game, right? Can we go
We were.
back? And can I just say, the Vikings are a clear third place team in the division, though, right, Hulk? Like you called Lions win that division. Goggins and I called Packers. The Vikings have to be the third team in that division, right? And the Bears are clearly the fourth, right?
Yeah, I don't think the Bears are even in the conversation. Like I said, like we're just gonna. They're like the JV team of the NFC North. We just
I like
kind of
it.
ignore them.
I like it. Okay.
I think the Vikings are probably third place, I would say. But who knows? Carson Wentz might start doing some Sam Darnold magic in Minnesota. They have a tendency to
Please.
do that.
Do that. No. I mean, honestly, please, no. I want the
I mean, he
Vikings
is
to be
a-
terrible. Tired of that team.
Carson Wentz is a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
He was hurt though. To be clear, that year he didn't play in the Super Bowl.
He
But, I
carried
mean, he
though.
took them
He
there. He carried them to
Yeah.
the Super Bowl, though.
That was
no,
a
he
crazy.
got hurt for
play,
the
he
big
didn't play
game.
in the playoffs. I mean, he played in the regular season, but I mean,
He had like
didn't
an
play.
MVP first half of that season though. He was
Hey,
running wild.
we don't
that
give you
first half
awards
of-
for first halves of seasons. You got to finish and then play in the Super Bowl.
It's true.
I don't know.
but,
Josh Allen got a trophy. I don't
Since
know.
we were talking,
now wait a second.
Sorry, friendly fire.
since we were talking about it, though, I want to, since we're still on the topic, I want to stick with the Lions Ravens. What's the story on the Ravens? Like, their offense has got a bunch of firepower, but is their defense just not that good? Like, what's going on in Baltimore, man? They should be killing these teams. They're
Call
like
that.
Super Bowl favorites every year.
I'd call that for sure, Hulk. I think, their defense is not what it's supposed to be. I mean, Jair Alexander gave up a bunch of big plays to the Bills week 1, remember? And they can't stop the run tonight. So, when's the last time you said the Ravens can't stop the run? That's kind of weird. I don't know. They don't look like the Colts. I'll tell you that much. They don't look as good as the Colts on defense or offense. Baltimore's
I think the
offense is
Ravens-
decent, but they can't stop the
starting-
run.
I'm starting
mean-
to think that the Ravens are just they're they're just not as good as like they have all this expectation, and I just think they're not. It's unwarranted. I think Lamar's really good. I think they got some weapons on offense, but man, they just can't get it done when it matters. They lose a lot of these games because their defense lets them down. I just don't think they have all the pieces to be as dominant as everybody says. Because every year, they're like, Ravens are Super Bowl favorites. Ravens are Super Bowl favorites. And they either lose early in the playoffs or they lose games like this to teams that actually are contenders.
Yeah, I think the Ravens have a brutal schedule. I mean, if you look at the Ravens schedule and you look at Buffalo's schedule, that's almost different leagues. Like
You're right.
They have a tough,
Yeah.
a tough road. I mean, I think they'll still be, I think they'll still win like 11 or 12 games. But man, playing the Bills and the Lions right off the bat, they have the Chiefs next week. They got, all the NFC North. I don't know. It's gonna be a long year for them.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think the Bills were handed. I mean, we talked about this. They were handed a little bit of an easy schedule. So, I mean, this week 3, you have the Lions. Week 1, the Bills, which are 2 of the top 5 teams in the power rankings. I mean, yeah, you could say they should have won one of these games, but yeah, that's pretty brutal. And then the Chiefs come in. That's also tough. But no, I agree, Hulk. I think their defense is weak. I think they don't have a great defense, man. They're going to have a down year, it looks like. And the Steelers,
Yeah.
we can joke about Aaron Rodgers and all this, but they're 2-1. They have a better record than the Ravens. So the Bengals
What a
are 2-1.
perfect segue.
Yeah.
What a perfect segue to the
Let's go to the
Steelers, because
Steelers.
the next game on the docket is Steelers-Patriots.
How about Goggins takes that, Mr. Patriots fan?
Let's go, Mr. New England.
I mean, this is like some signs of life. I don't know. I was reading a little bit about this game, and they said that the Patriots snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. I mean, I think the Steelers are. I don't know. The Steelers have kind of been a mixed bag through 3 weeks, but I don't think the Patriots are as bad as we thought. Like, I think they're. I don't know. I think that they can win some games this year. I think Drake May is actually like pretty decent. I think he's. I don't know. I don't want to say he's the most promising quarterback we've had since Brady. I mean, we had a year with Mac Jones when we actually thought we were a playoff team, and then Buffalo shut us down. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's the reconstruction is well underway in New England. I think Belichick is now firmly out, and we're scoring some points against good teams, which did not happen last year. So
I think Drake May, for playing the Steelers defense, who's historically been really good. I mean, TJ Watt is a menace. I mean, we were talking about it last week. The Steelers' defense is a huge part of the reason why they've just snuck into the playoffs every single year, because their offense has been good enough, but their defense has been elite. But Drake May almost passed for 300 yards, 28 for 37, 2 touchdowns. I'm kind of on board, Goggins. I think Drake May could turn into a really good quarterback.
And they got Henderson at running back. Goggins, do you like that Henderson kid at running back?
I'll have to be honest. I haven't watched a snap of Patriots football yet this year.
Oh, that's okay. No, he's a really good running back from Ohio State last year. I think Drake May plus that Henderson kid plus Stevenson, the running back, and then they got a little talent in that receiver group. Patriots might be a little bit surprising this year. But they lost to the Steelers, so let's go. I mean,
they're still 1-2. They're still 1-2.
Yeah. I think they're playing better than people thought. But let's go to the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers. I mean, passes Brett Favre for 4th most passing touchdowns all time. DK Metcalf, obviously a beast, right? What'd you say? Sorry.
I said Rodgers is washed.
He's I don't think he's great. I don't think he's great.
His first game to start the year, 4 touchdowns. Since then, he hasn't done very much. Like this game, he threw a pick. Yeah, he had 2 touchdowns, but he only threw for 139 yards.
Yeah, I don't think they're not going to throw a bunch of yards this year, Hulk. I think they're more of a ground and pound, play defense team, which I actually agree with. Like, I like that. That's Iowa Hawkeyes football, if you know what I'm saying. Let's not score a ton of points and let's hold on to the ball. But I got to give Aaron credit, man. He's fourth all time in passing touchdowns. I think I Wash might be a little aggressive, but he's in the bottom third of quarterbacks. I don't think he's super athletic anymore. He's not at that upper echelon, but the Steelers are going to make the playoffs. I think all three of us had them in the playoffs or close. So I think all three of us are pretty spot on the Steelers. The Patriots, I do think they have a lot of young talent, man. I don't know. They're gonna be hard to deal with next year. I think this year they're gonna get better, but next year they might be kind of tough to deal with. So
The Patriots are going to make the playoffs, I think. I think there's a chance because the Jets and the Dolphins are both 0-3 right now. So they're in the wild card race just because of that. Just because the two other teams in their divisions are 0-3.
yeah.
So if Drake May can put it together and they can maybe get to like 8-8 or 9-8, sit on the bubble, maybe they steal a spot. Who knows? We'll see. It's early.
Yeah, I think
that.
this year is going to be a big step in the right direction. I think, it's the first time I'm watching I'm looking at the Patriots, and I feel like we're actually clear of, the void of Belichick and Brady.
I like that.
I think the Patriots are still rebuilding though this year. I think this is still a rebuild year. They're still trying to work out the kinks on how they can be successful post Brady, post Belichick, post Gronk, post all those OG Patriots guys. But one more thing I want to say about this game though, and I know I keep bringing it back to fantasy. I had Hunter Henry on my bench. He had no business dropping 32 points. That's ridiculous. 2 touchdowns, 8 catches. No way.
Can he dunk? That's my only question. A big white receiver, tight end, whatever. Can he dunk? Tell me the truth.
I think he can.
I don't think he can, Hulk. So that's what you're saying. You're saying this big white guy that can't dunk is throwing down big points. I think that's crazy.
That's what I mean.
So he's 6'5". He's 30 years old.
I think dude, come on, Goggins. Tell me what's going on here.
I mean, come on, he can get on his tippy toes and drop it in there at 6'5". He doesn't even need to dunk it.
He's 30. He's 30 years old and he's 250 pounds. So he and I have a lot in common, and I'm gonna go ahead and take the under on him dunking.
I'm with you.
All right. Yeah, I mean I just needed to add that because he's on my bench as my backup tight end, and Tyler Warren didn't have a great game this week. He just didn't get a lot of targets, which is surprising. We'll get into the Colts here soon, but Hunter Henry scoring 32 points. I mean, that's not happening again this season, I bet. That's just like a rare occasion that I should have started Hunter Henry.
It was
he scored 2
right?
points last week, so
Yeah. Yeah.
Just wait till we talk about the
they
old
forgot-
heads this week. Yeah.
The old heads went off. What's going on with the old heads? That's my question.
Old
Man,
heads.
this was a blast from the past this week. We I mean, as I mentioned, the Vikings defense was absolutely elite this week. But top to bottom, I mean, Jonathan Taylor went crazy. Kyler was solid. I just had a bunch of guys scoring 20 points. It was kind of the theme of the week. It was nice, you know. It's like when you plant the seeds and you finally see something grow. So
Yeah,
to build on.
Pandemonium. Team Pandemonium is going to drop to 1-2. You know, it's a little bit of a struggle over here, given the fact I'm scoring a lot of points. Like, I'm probably still going to score 160 this week, but both of my losses, I mean, have just been against your guys' teams just going crazy.
Dude, Mark Andrews dropped 28 points on my bench this week.
Yeah, he just scored a touchdown at the end of that game. I don't know if you guys saw that, but he just had a late touchdown, which probably he was on your bench, Goggins. I mean, he probably won a bunch of people some money this week, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's impressive. I mean, talking about tight ends that can't dunk, 28 points is pretty good for the old man.
Yeah. But, Goggins, you might as well keep a hold of the mic because the next game is Rams-Eagles. And, you're big on the Rams. What happened, man? What happened?
Man, that was painful. The only worst beat this weekend in the Packers was the Los Angeles Rams. We were up 2 scores the majority of that second half. And it's just, I guess that's just what happens when you play the Eagles to a certain degree. But it seemed like they just needed, the Rams were one play away from winning that game, and they had about 10 chances, and they just never made the play, even down to that last field goal. That last play of the game was crazy. Yeah, shout out to what's his name, Davis on the Eagles, a block and a 90-yard, or a block and a
Jordan Davis.
How far was that return? 70 yards, 80 yards? That was a cool play.
Like 70 yards at like 340 pounds.
I think this just Kyle, I think this just kind of solidifies that we were correct. I mean, Stafford didn't have a good game. 19 for 33. It's pretty bad. 1 interception. And the Rams are just not elite. They just can't get it done against these good teams. They beat up on some bad teams to start the year, got them feeling good, but when it really came down to it, they just can't beat these elite teams. Believe that.
Dude, this week was a shot over the bow from the Rams. They showed us that they're actually a real football team. They can beat anybody in the league. The Eagles got lucky. They got out there by the skin of their teeth at home. The Rams almost went into Philadelphia, and they handled the Eagles for 3.5 quarters of that game. I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good about my pick, even though we didn't get the win. I'm feeling about as good as I could 3 weeks in.
Jalen Hurts had a field day on that defense, though. 3 touchdowns, 220 yards. Come on. You need to have a better defense than that, Goggins.
Well, I'm telling you, the ghost Aaron Donald doesn't travel. He stays at SoFi, so it's a little harder on the road. But
do they have at least 9 games at SoFi this year, so they can go 9? They can sneak a 9-8 record.
That's a good question. That is going to be the deal breaker, is whether we're playing more games at home or on the road.
Yeah.
But dude, the Rams, their offense they move the football well enough. They're a legitimate football team. I'm telling you. Do not sleep on the Rams.
I'm gonna keep sleeping on them. Sorry.
So
Puka
Hulk,
Nakua's elite.
What are you thinking, Hulk? Hulk, are you thinking Rams miss the playoffs like we've now said many times?
The Rams are 100% missing the playoffs. Yeah, I firmly believe that. It's only going to get solidified next week when they take a massive L to Danny Dimes and the Indianapolis Colts at SoFi. And that ghost of Aaron Donald isn't going to be able to save them from what Daniel Jones is going to do to them in that defense. I'm going to knock on wood right now because I actually want the Colts to win. I don't want to jinx it, but that's what I think. I think Daniel Jones is going to have a field day on that field come next Sunday.
I think the Colts go 16-1.
I think the Eagles definitely
16-1, and the Eagles gave it to the Rams.
Man. Sorry, Goggins.
What are you saying? You're giving it to the?
I don't think so.
To the Colts? You think Colts over the Rams?
I think so. Yeah, I'm biased, but I think so.
The Rams are terrible. Matt Stafford has back pain like you've never seen in your life. He's hobbling out to the, he's under center. He's hobbling over there, but Goggins is holding in there. So Goggins, I am so proud of you for holding your belief in him. And maybe he'll pay you back.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
The Rams are going to win 12 games. They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to win probably 2 games in the playoffs, and then probably fall in the NFC Championship game to the Packers. No, I'll give them one playoff win, not 2. 2's getting a little.
I'm proud of you for your belief. No, I'm serious. I'm proud of you for your belief. Not everyone can hold belief like this, but Hulk and I are clearly calling you out. The Colts are gonna whoop the Rams. All right, what's the next game?
Dude, I'm telling you, we're gonna have to live stream. We're gonna have to.
Yeah, we're gonna do a.
But I feel bad when the Colts win 40-0. That's gonna be like what's going on here?
This Sunday we're going live on YouTube. We're gonna do a watch party. Let's go.
I'm gonna be at the Brewers game. I'm pretty sure, but I'll try.
When the Rams beat the Colts, I'm gonna be running through the streets,
He's
I'll
gonna
let
be
my neighbors
streaking
know.
through Grafton. No one look.
Be
Anyway.
climbing. I'm gonna be,
It's all right. It's all right,
be-
Lombardi. We don't. This is between me and Goggins.
Yeah.
I'll pull up at Rest Period HQ. We'll get a camera set up,
I love
and
it.
it'll just be on me and Goggins. We'll be watching this game. I'll show up in my Danny Dimes jersey,
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones hat. I'll be ready to go. I'll be
Can we
pumped.
call it right now? If Goggins wins, he's got to streak through Grafton. That's what I'm calling. This is a joke, clearly,
Absolutely.
people. Calm down. Calm down, YouTube.
A lot of kids on my block, Kyle. I don't know if I can make good on that one, but I'm not too
Yeah.
worried because the
I am
Rams are gonna win
joking.
that
It's a
game.
joke.
The Rams are going to win that game. I mean, I don't think that there's much you can say beyond that.
That's fair. That's
know,
fair.
Danny Dimes looks good, but the Rams, I mean, some teams are just winning teams, and unfortunately, that's Los Angeles right now this year.
Unfortunately, that's Los Angeles.
They just lost. What do you
What are
mean
you
they're winning
talking about?
teams?
Dude,
They
they dominated the Super Bowl defending Eagles. The Rams
Stafford did
outplayed
not
them
dominate. Stop it.
for 56
Stafford
minutes
went
of that game.
19 for 30. 19
Danny Dimes is a lot better against, come on, the Titans. Are
Come
you kidding
on,
me?
man.
The
Matthew Stafford went 19 for 33 and threw an interception and didn't even eclipse 200 yards passing.
He
He
missed
did not
14
dominate
throws,
the
Goggins.
Eagles.
What are you talking about?
they controlled that game for 58 minutes. That's all I have to say.
If Stafford would actually not be hobbling around, they might have won. Yes.
Puka, let's get this straight. Puka Nakua dominated them for the
And
first
Devontae.
half of that game.
My boy Devontae on my fantasy team had a good game. No, I agree.
Are you going to tell me, first of all, they had a chip shot field goal to win. After dominating the entire game, they missed a chip shot. Or,
Terrible,
they got blocked.
Goggins. Terrible.
They just can't get it done, Goggins. That's what I'm saying. They don't have that clutch factor.
Unfortunately, Los Angeles just wins.
That's just
all
going
I
to be
gotta
the
say.
story of their season this year. They're going to lose a bunch of games like that. They're not going to be able to make field goals.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, they're a scary football team. They got a
How
lot
do
of good
you- how-
mojo.
How do you
That
let
one
the
really
Eagles
good
do that to
defensive
you?
player you named earlier this year. What's his name again?
Exactly. I mean, I don't want to harp on things we've already covered in depth. So the Rams defense,
Hey,
They're
hey
elite.
Goggins, it goes both ways. When the Colts lose in embarrassing fashion, you can clown on me too. But every time the Rams lose, I'm gonna be on you. I'm gonna be on you this season.
I'm gonna be on you like I don't even know. I'm not even.
I'm telling
yeah.
you, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, let's I mean, the Rams, they just have they have an easy schedule, and they have an elite quarterback, and they I hate them, but they're going to win the
He's
championship.
super elite, but he can't walk to the sideline. It's crazy. I mean,
Dude, he's so elite. That guy, Matthew Stafford.
Crazy thing about that quarterback position, you don't have to move if you can throw the football. It's pretty
It's
remarkable.
true.
they're the rest of the season throwing that ball.
Yeah. Well, let's get into the next one. The next one is not the Colts. They're not the next one. We got the Jets and the Buccaneers. Buccaneers pull it out. Honestly, this is another big surprise. Buccaneers are 3-0. Baker Mayfield 3-0 this season so far. Maybe the Bucs are contenders this year. Who knows? Bucs have been playing some good football.
Yeah, they've been playing a heap and pile of trash on the other side of the line. They played the Falcons, Texans, and Jets, and they have won by 3 points, 1 point, and 2 points. So I don't think we kind of talked about it. The Bucs are going to make the playoffs. I like Baker. I mean, he's a solid quarterback. The Bucs will win like 11 games and then just probably get stomped when they play somebody legitimate, I think.
Simply said, they play good defense. They've had bad opponents. I like Baker as well. So actually, like Baker Mayfield's one of my feel good stories.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're not great. So I don't have much to say.
Yeah, I was hyping them up for the fans out there, but I also agree. I mean, when you let Tyrod Taylor score 27 points on you, I mean, that's a bad football team right there.
Did you see they blocked a field goal? The Jets blocked a field goal, returned it for a touchdown. They had the lead on the Buccaneers. And the Buccaneers almost lost to the Jets. So we'll just leave it at that. That tells you everything.
Dude, that's got to be some kind of record for blocked field goals in a week in the NFL. I've never seen that many blocked field goals.
Yeah, it felt
Yeah.
weird, didn't it? I mean, it was 2 in your Eagles Rams, 1 in our Packers game, obviously 1 in that Jets game, 2 returned for touchdown too. That rarely happens. So yeah, maybe we should figure out our special teams in the NFL, man. I don't know, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I
the
will
Jets
say,
are
though-
terrible, man. They shouldn't. Come on, the Jets are nowhere near the Browns level on defense. So
No.
I mean, I'm mad at the Packers, but the Jets are they're a class below the Browns defense. So that's just really bad.
Yeah. I will say, though, that Baker Mayfield is elite, and I think we can all agree on that. Baker
Yeah, we like
Mayfield
him,
has
man,
Baker Mayfield has got he's kind of got the curse of a lot of quarterbacks where he's a good quarterback on bad teams. He's on the Browns,
yeah.
Bucks, like, it's
Yeah.
tough.
So I was reading, for whatever reason, I was going on a Wikipedia rabbit hole, and in the 2016 game between Oklahoma and Texas Tech, Baker Mayfield and Patrick Mahomes, they threw for a combined like 1,300 yards and like 9 touchdowns or something ridiculous. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But man, Texas Tech had some good quarterbacks back in the day,
That was
and
Cliff
those stat lines were
Kingsbury. You
ridiculous.
remember Cliff
Yeah.
Kingsbury was the head coach with Mahomes. He's now the offensive coordinator with the Commanders for Jaden Daniels. So that guy could put up some serious freaking yards. But Baker's a real deal. He's ranked right now. He's ranked 13th in quarterback ranking. So he's in the upper half of the NFL quarterbacks that we would look at. I like Baker a lot. So, where do you guys rank him in your own opinion? I mean, he's ranked 13th, but that's kind of based off of these games this year. I think he's
Yeah.
one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL, just in my opinion. The last few years, especially, he's been up there. So,
Yeah, I think he's up there in the top 10 for sure. Baker's really good. I'd put him in the top 10 for sure.
I got to give credit. Matt Stafford's ranked 3rd in the rankings right now for this season. Just so you
Matt
know.
Stafford's a pretender.
I'm not. See,
Pretender.
I'm being very objective. That's an objective number. He's ranked 3rd. Guess who number 1 is? This might transition us to the next game. Sam Darnold's ranked number 1 in the NFL quarterback rankings right now.
Who
doesn't-
wait? Are the who wrote these rankings? Is this just QBR or is this
No. So it's PFF, Pro Football Focus, which is on NBC games. They always show you the rankings of these players. And I actually trust these rankings. Daniel Jones is number 6. And I believe that. Josh Allen's 4th. Dak Prescott's 2nd. Sam Darnold's number 1. So now these are analysts looking at every play, assessing everything. This is not based on stats. This isn't based on this is like us sitting down and watching film and saying this guy's doing the right thing. Not based on stats. So definitely different than like stat based assessments, but
Yeah.
I'm not
Doesn't
going to
feel
say
right.
Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's not the best quarterback in the NFL, but
Yeah.
it's just
It
like
doesn't
they
feel right to me.
analyze every play, right? So
It doesn't feel right to me. I feel like, if you just take a step back, I'm just going to take this from a pure emotional standpoint. I think Daniel Jones is MVP right now through 3 weeks.
he's right there. I'm with you actually.
Yeah.
No, that's not even a joke. I think once again, that's not stats. They're just assessing the plays. But if you put in stats with how they're playing, like Josh Allen, I think I hate to say it, Stafford's in the top 5 right now. Yeah, Daniel Jones is probably my number 1, guys. He's got to be. Jalen Hurts is right there. Burrow would have been there, but he's hurt. Lamar Jackson's always there. In these PFF rankings, Patrick Mahomes is ranked 19th. 19th.
That's
So
all right.
he's nowhere near. He's not even the top half in the NFL, man. That's pretty
I don't-
crazy. That's pretty.
I've
crazy.
actually, Patrick Mahomes, obviously, he's pretty good. Like he wins games, but I don't know. I've never thought that Patrick Mahomes is like the best quarterback ever. I mean, I feel like he's kind of overhyped. Like a lot of people were like the NFL was kind of glazing him a little bit. Talk about comparing him to Tom Brady, comparing him to like all these great quarterbacks, and I just never saw that in Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I thought he was good, but I didn't see anything that he could do that Lamar couldn't do or Josh Allen couldn't do. I think his team was just really good. Like the
I
years that they won the
agreed.
Super Bowl, the Chiefs were stacked on offense and on defense.
I
So
think Lamar's won 2 of the last 3 MVPs. Josh Allen won last year. Those are your clear
Yep.
best quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes, he wins a lot of games, but it's a team game. So,
Yeah.
But Mahomes is obviously let's step back for a second. He's in the top echelon of quarterbacks ever. I think he's had a down 2 to 3 years, Hulk. I think that's what you're trying to say, but he's had a down 2 to 3 years. He has not been as good. It's just clear as day to me.
Yeah, he's just not as elite as the NFL paints him out to be.
Yeah,
I would
for
argue
sure.
that Joe Burrow is more elite than Patrick Mahomes because
I completely agree.
Joe Burrow has to carry the Bengals on his back.
Stats and rankings actually show that Joe Burrow's a better quarterback. He just doesn't win
Yeah.
as many games because his team sucks. He has no defense.
It's
Right?
unfortunate.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man. But
Put Joe Burrow on a good team. He might have a couple rings.
yeah, agreed.
Same with Baker. You know, that's how it should
Yeah.
be.
I don't know. Patrick Mahomes, yeah, he eats a lot of ketchup, so that's all I really got to say about that.
That's fair.
Patrick
I like
Mahomes
that.
started the season 0-2. I couldn't be more happy.
Well, and he's not playing well, guys. He's not playing well. We just gotta we gotta be objective. We gotta just because someone was great in the past, we don't have to say they're good now. He's not in the top half of quarterbacks. Like he's not stat wise. He's not as good as a lot of guys. He doesn't look great on the field.
Travis looked bad. Travis dropping passes out there, getting mad.
Yeah, he's all pissed off at Andy Reid. Come on, man.
It's almost like he's distracted by something. I don't know what it could be, but
I couldn't
almost
tell
like
you
Travis
what.
is
Yeah,
distracted.
couldn't be a female. No.
I did hear he was messing around with some females, but kind of irrelevant. I don't even know who his wife is.
Yeah, I
Never
don't think
heard
he's
of her
married,
before.
so
It's
But no,
like
the,
Taylor something.
dude, the Chief. This is kind of like it's the result of a slow bleed. They've had a couple of years of just not a lot of action in the off season. Never really getting anyone in the draft. Like they had their time in the sun. They gotta do a little bit of a rebuild. So
All right, let's talk about the Colts. Let's talk about
All
the
right,
Colts.
time for Colts. Let's go.
It's Colts time. Next game is Colts
Colts time.
Titans.
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones. I mean, come on. The story of this game, surprisingly, not Indiana Jones. Jonathan Taylor scored 3 touchdowns. That's really the story of this game. He ran for 102 yards. Jonathan Taylor's, through the first 3 weeks of the season, is having probably the best season he's had in a while. Like, dude is showing that he's still elite. And I mean, it's obviously helping Daniel Jones out because, I mean, when you have a good rushing attack, it helps the passing. But the other story of this game is the Colts offensive line. Oh my goodness. The freaking Great Wall of Indianapolis does it again. Daniel Jones didn't get put on the ground a single time. And it shows because he threw for 228 yards, touchdown, great passer rating. And that obviously helps the run game too when you have an elite offensive line. Defense showed out. The punter did make an appearance, unfortunately. He didn't sit on the sideline for a third week in a row, but
I hate that. Don't punt.
yeah, we punted the ball one time against the Titans, but I mean, this isn't really a surprise. The Titans are a bad football team. We've been saying that. Their rookie quarterback, he's obviously struggling because he's on a bad team, but he's also a rookie, so it's kind of a combination of both. Like the rookie struggles and being on a bad team. So I don't know.
So
That's really my thoughts of it.
I watched the first half, Hulk, on NFL replay. Kenny Moore opens the game with a pick six. Tell me about that. What better way to start a freaking game? You get a pick six.
There isn't
Awesome.
a better way. Kenny Moore's really good. I really like Kenny Moore. You don't really see him in the interception game all that much, but he lays the boomsticks on guys for being like a pretty small corner. He like lays the boomsticks on guys. But yeah, I mean the defense showed out. We got a lot of sacks. We got an interception. I had the Colts defense on my fantasy team this week. Scored 32 points for me. You know, made it respectable this week against Kyle's team. But yeah,
your team played well. I had to take you out in fantasy, but here, the Colts. Okay, Kenny Moore. Kenny Moore is awesome. Hulk, you got like an absolute stud. Javarius Ward is on the other side. I don't know how you guys got these two guys. They're both really good corners. And I'm watching your first half, your defense dominates the Titans, right? Cam Ward could do nothing.
Yeah.
And then you also have Zaire Franklin running left. He's running down left sideline, right sideline, A gap, B gap, and that guy's just everywhere. Zaire Franklin. Remember that name, right? And then you got DeForest Buckner, who's had 6+ sacks in the last 7 seasons, which he's one of 4 players to ever do that. You know, and then you have Letu off the edge, a great edge player.
Absolutely.
I'm starting to see it. Hulk. I get you now.
I think the Colts defense is, and I've thought this for a while, but I think the Colts secondary has been elite for a while. Like I think we've always had a great secondary. I mean, we got Nick Cross, we got Kenny Moore, we picked up Bynum from the Vikings. He's had a great season through 3 weeks. We got great safeties. Really, we did have some good guys on the defensive line, but you know, like DeForest Buckner, but you know, now Letu is like you said on the edge is showing out. Like we got good edge rushers now. Zaire is still really good at that linebacker position. We're able to stop the run this year, which was our problem last year. No, I think everything is just kind of coming together for this might be the dream season for the Colts.
And Sean Steichen's the key. I call him Sean Steichen. Do you know why I call him Sean Steichen? He reminds me of Sean McVay so much, the way he's running things. So I feel a little magic. I feel like, you know, when the Stafford trade happened, Stafford comes in with Sean McVay. They ride it right to the Super Bowl and win it. I feel a little bit of that right now. So I know it's Shane Steichen, but it feels a little bit like Sean McVay showed up in the Indianapolis Colts system and said, "Let's roll."
It just feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just feels like everything is just working right now. The defense is playing well. The running game is really good. The passing game is really good. Our field goal kicker is still perfect through 3 weeks. The one punt that we had, we freaking pinned them back. We're getting sacks. We're getting turnovers. I mean, come on. It's fun to be a Colts fan right now. It is fun to be a Colts fan.
And we got shirts on the way, boys. We got shirts on the way. Goggins, could I say, this reminds me of the 2021 LA Rams. Does it remind you of that team?
Well, I was going to say, I mean, the good news is they are running through weaker opponents. The bad news is that they're currently down to plus 3,500 to win the Super Bowl. So if we want to buy this,
we got to hurry.
This Colts Super Bowl package, we got to act quick because I think that's a one-way. I think that market is only going one direction.
And next week when they blow out the Rams, it'll be even worse.
You're probably right. I mean,
when they lose to the Rams, that'll be the ideal time to buy, actually. Yeah. So,
Goggins is like, unfortunately, they're on a collision course with the Rams, so they're going to take their first L of the season. But
unstoppable force means an immovable object. You know, it's going to be.
Unfortunately, the LA Rams are hot, but they're going to lose to the Colts. Is what you're trying to say?
I'm calling it right now.
I actually think it's the other way. I think the Rams are on a collision course with the Indianapolis Colts.
I mean, the Colts, they call it, collision course. They call it game of the season. The Rams call it week 4. So, we'll see who
He's not
takes
even worried. He's not even worried. Look at him.
I can't wait. I hope
Sean McVay
or
Sean Steichen.
The next episode of this podcast for week 4 is going to be a good one. I can't wait to talk about this game. I hope the Colts win. I really hope they win.
40-0 Colts.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That's game of the season. That's game of the season.
I mean, this is basically Matt Goggins' Super Bowl right here. So
can I remind you two of one thing? Can I remind you two of one thing that happened last year? Saquon Barkley put down over 200 yards rushing twice against the LA Rams. I'm going to tell you one thing right now. Jonathan Taylor is going to put over 200 yards down on the Rams next week. And this is just using stats from last year. Saquon Barkley had over 2,000 yards because of the LA Rams. And, dude, they can't stop the run. So Jonathan Taylor is going to run all over them. It's going to be a bloodbath over there, guys.
I 100% agree. It's going to be the Jonathan Taylor show next week, just like it was this week. And Daniel Jones is also probably going to cash in. I'm gonna give Daniel Jones a touchdown and 200 yards in the air this week. I think Tyler Warren's going to be a big part of that recipe.
40-0. I'm joking about that, by the way, but I think Taylor's going to have a good game. I think he'll have over 200 yards.
What's your over under Colts this week? This coming week, 28 points. We over or under on that?
Goggins, you go first on this. I want to hear all your thoughts here.
I mean, my thoughts are pretty simple. -3.5. That is the LA Rams line. It's in LA. Matthew Stafford is the best quarterback in the NFL. He's top. He was the best quarterback in the NFL. No, the Rams are going to win this game. They they don't have all the bells and whistles. They don't have the best running back in the league. They don't have, a recent pickup who's laying it on fire. But I think it's going to be kind of like a sobering game for the Colts. I think they're going to come out hot. They're probably going to score 22 points. I'm saying 31-22 Rams.
So you're taking the over.
I'm taking the over. I'm taking Rams. I'm taking I think
the final score. This is what I think. I think the final score is going to be. I don't think their defense gets through the Great Wall of Indianapolis. Unfortunately, I think it's going to prove to be strong once again. I don't think the ghost of Aaron Donald. The Colts don't actually believe in ghosts, so I don't think they're going to be able to. The ghost of Aaron Donald is not going to be able to affect them. I'm giving it. I'm going to say 21-7 is the final score, and Colts get the W.
21. You got to remember this. The Rams are going to be pissed. They're not going to be happy about week 3. The Colts are flying high. You guys have really no, you have no scars yet this season. You have to learn some hard lessons.
I'm just saying the Rams are gonna come ramming towards us, and we're just gonna kick them because we're like the Colts or the horses. We're just gonna kick them in the head, and then they're gonna be disoriented and fall over.
I'm telling you, dude. Horses are scared of ghosts. Colts do not like ghosts. Aaron Donald is gonna be looming large. They're retiring his number this week. I just saw they're retiring his number at Pitt. I mean, look out, man.
The Colts are clearly going to win this game, Goggins. I'll just finish with my thoughts. I think it's going to be 42-28. I think you guys are. I mean, Hulk's on the offensive side of the Colts, but their defense is. They have 2 elite corners, Goggins. They're not going to be able to throw the ball to Puka and Devontae the way you guys are used to doing it, and they get edge pressure. And on top of that, the Rams can't stop their defense.
I think we got to figure out what we're putting on the line here. What are we waiting for?
28 Colts.
I don't think the Rams score 28 points on the Colts.
I think they will in trash time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe.
When
they pull
Jimmy GQ comes in.
When they pull our starters and they let Anthony Richardson get some reps like they did this week.
No, I think
they'll
score late. They'll score late. Yeah. Seriously. It's going to be a bloodbath.
I'll make a deal. I'll do 10 burpees for every point that the Colts score.
And
all right, deal.
No, let's run miles for every point that the Rams lose by or win by.
I'll do 20 push-ups for every point that the Colts lose by. If they lose, if they don't lose, then I won't do any push-ups.
Next week, so you'll do push-ups, right?
Yeah, I'll do push-ups.
Burpees. I'll run miles. So I said 42-28, right? But if the Colts win by that, obviously I don't have to run anything. But if the Rams win by 1 or all the way up to whatever, I have to run that many miles next week.
Yeah.
Continuous? Because I mean, when it's 35-3, it's gonna be a grind.
You know what? I guess I have
Come
to. I
on.
don't know.
If it's 35-3, I'll do every single push-up and we'll record it live on restperiod.com.
We just know that's not going to happen, boys.
I just know that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
but
Rams are going to lose. Sorry.
I'm a man of my word. If the Colts get blown out by the Rams, you'll see me do every single push-up live on restperiod.com.
If it's
So
50-0,
stay
he's
tuned.
going to have a long day, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be my workout for the day. I'll just do whatever that is, 50 times 20. That's a
His
lot of
chest
push-ups.
will be pumped. 400.
400 push-ups. But yeah, I it's good. This is taking a lot longer going through all these games, but I think we can speed run the next few. Because there's definitely one on here that I want to skip to right away. But Jerry's hurting right now. The Cowboy Nation is not feeling good right now. They just let the Chicago Bears score 31 points on them. And win this game. I mean, come on. It's got to suck to be a Cowboys fan. Per the usual, though. I mean, that's kind of par of the course for the Cowboys, you know. It's just a cycle of pain over there.
Yeah,
Especially
that
after
is
they lost Micah.
I have nothing to
That
say
is a
about the
brutal
Cowboys.
loss. That's a brutal loss. I don't think the Bears have beaten anybody by more than 2 touchdowns in my entire adult life, so that's hard to see.
Boo. They're terrible. Let's move to the
Jerry
next
Jones
game.
is up there. Jerry Jones is probably up there like, you know, it's fine. You know, it wasn't because we got rid of Michael. The Bears didn't score 31 because we got rid of Michael. Come on.
We didn't need Michael. What you talk about?
We didn't need Michael. Come on. This is all part of the plan. We wanted to lose to the Bears. It was all part of the plan.
Jerry's plan is working so well, Hulk.
Yeah. and then another game. I mean, unless you guys got more to say on Bears Cowboys. I mean, all right. I mean, the other game I really wanted to talk about here was just again, the 49ers. I mean, I said it at the beginning of the season. I'm still saying it now. This is a gritty football team. They're going to win a lot of games close this year. You know, they slipped by the Cardinals 16-15. Their defense is just good. Like, they just have a great defense. And their offense is good enough. I think this is a playoff team. I think the Niners are gonna be really good. They're gonna obviously do well in their division, and I think they're gonna make the playoffs. I don't know.
And
What are your guys' thoughts?
McCaffrey, the Glassman's playing really well. Christian
Yeah.
McCaffrey, if he's on that field, 49ers are an absolute threat. I agree, Hulk. I think right now they look really good. So the one thing I'm kind of disappointed, Nick Bosa tore his ACL. So their defense just lost.
That's a
an elite-
huge. That's a huge loss.
I mean, it just hurts. I feel bad for Nick Bosa. But yeah, they're like you just said, you're spot on. Their team's gritty, man. They're tough. So I think that hurts them though in the long run. But
I think that's a huge loss. That's a huge loss.
Yeah, I think that prevents them from going to the Super Bowl or getting far in the playoffs. But they're still a playoff team in my mind.
But the Niners have been a team that for whatever reason it feels like every season they're just beat up by the end of the year. They got so many injuries, but they're just tough, and they just win games close, and they get into the playoffs.
Yeah, they win. I mean, they play the same game every week. It's like a couple big offensive plays. Otherwise, you know, fairly broken football, but like just rugged defense, and you know they beat somebody else in the NFC West, like whatever, 15-12 or something. It's like clockwork.
Yeah, Sam Darnold had a great game this week. They smacked on the Saints though. They're not very good, but you know, 44 points for the Seahawks this week. They definitely needed that win. But I still think I still am holding firm. I think Seattle was a playoff team this year. I do. I think Seattle's a playoff team.
By PFF rankings, Seattle's one of those teams, guys. Sam Darnold is not a fluke. He's way younger than Stafford. I will say Stafford has had a way better career, obviously. Stafford's a Hall of Famer, but I think Sam Darnold is showing us all that he's the real deal. He's proven it again. He was 14-3 last year as a starter. I think they're the clear favorites to win the NFC West, especially with the 49ers losing Nick Bosa. I think that really hurts them. I think that's a big deal. Even though I think they're still going to make the playoffs, I think that's, I didn't know that obviously before I picked them to make the playoffs. I'd probably switch the Rams in there now, but I'm going to stick with it. I can't change it now, but the Rams are clearly, they have a healthy team, right? Stafford's still on the field. They don't have a big injury. Nick Bosa going out, man, that's like us losing Micah Parsons for the Packers.
Huge.
That's like, wow.
Massive.
So I don't know. That might be a big deal. I think the Rams, they might be the number 2 now. Let's be fair to the Rams. They're pretty good, but
this was the NFC West is another division that we were talking about that was really hard to call. And it's proving to be that way because it is competitive because they got 3 of the Rams are 2-1, the Cardinals are 2-1, the Seahawks are 2-1, the 49ers are 3-0. I still think because the Rams are going to lose to the Colts this week. The Cardinals will probably drop a game this week too. I still think my prediction holds true. I think Seattle's going to edge it out here. They're going to win this division, and the 49ers are going to be a playoff team in that second place spot. I do think the Rams best the Cardinals, but I think they missed the playoffs in third place in the NFC West, and I'm gonna hold firm on that. That's what I think.
I had Rams, Seahawks. I'm not gonna change. Yeah. The Niners are good, but I don't know. That Bosa injury is big. Purdy, Mac Jones
Purdy's
is playing
out.
well, but I don't know. I don't think Mac Jones is really a playoff quarterback.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Maybe.
The 49ers, they're like Hulk, you said it, man. They're so beat up. I don't get it. They're just like
so beat up all the time.
I kind of worry. I'm a little bit worried now, honestly, about that team. But
they are 3-0.
They still play well. Yeah, man, they're still tough. But every team in the division's 2-1 or 3-0. So that's where I'm like, 49ers schedule gets pretty difficult. They have to play a lot of those NFC West teams. But
after this week,
we still have left because we have contenders.
I got one more thing I want to say about the NFC West. After this week, though, I think Seattle's going to improve to 3-1. They're playing the Cardinals. The Cardinals are probably going to drop to 2-2. So I do think that and obviously I think the Rams are going to lose, but they might surprise me. But I think it's going to work out the way God intended, and it's going to be Seattle and the 49ers on top of that division.
I like
after
it.
week 4. But
you're gonna have plenty of time. You're gonna have plenty of time to reflect when you're doing those push-ups. So
and say your
it's true.
forgivenesses.
It's true. But
we might be going till midnight tonight, boys. Let's go. How about that Chargers game? We got to talk about this Chargers game, man.
Yeah, Chargers beat the Broncos by a field goal.
Unbelievable.
Chargers are good. Goggins, that's your team. Let's go.
Yeah, tell us about the Chargers, Goggins. Tell us about the Chargers.
Justin Herbert is tall and good at football, and the Chargers prove that NFL kickers can in fact win games when they need to. So, the Chargers, they're solid. I've been saying they've been better the last 3 years than they let on. They lost so many games because of clock mismanagement, poor decisions down the stretch. They've been the Chiefs' little brother, and the Chiefs took a huge step back. I think that the Chargers they're good. I think Keenan Allen is always consistent. It's cool to see him, back for the Chargers, and yeah, I feel good about that pick.
Yeah,
so
Chargers
through 3 games, they're 3-0. Can I ask you though, okay, Khalil Mack is out for the season, Rashawn Slater's out for the season, Najee Harris, their running back's out for the season. He just tore his Achilles. I'm a little it's the same as the Bosa and the 49ers problems. I feel like the Chargers injuries are going to stack up. Do you think
they're in a better situation?
Do you think that's true?
So,
dude, I don't think that they're.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't think that they are contenders for the Super Bowl, but they have an easy schedule. I think that the AFC West is not as good as it has been. I think that I mean, they're playing all of the AFC South. They're playing all of the NFC East. I think both of those divisions are not great. Like, I mean, I just think they have a pretty easy schedule. I think they'll win like 12 games.
Wow, 12.
I agree.
Yeah, okay.
I agree.
I'm going to say they're going to miss the playoffs because of, well, I mean, I said this before the season started. They started 3-0. That's great. But, man, their injuries are pretty big. They lost their starting running back, starting left tackle, their best defensive player, and it's been 3 games. I think they're going to – they played well through 3 games, though. I got to give you a ton of credit for calling that. I think they look good in those games, but I'm worried about that, man, because it's not always about the X's and O's. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes, and they're losing their Jimmies and Joes. So at some point, Jim Harbaugh is not going to have – he's not going to have the thoroughbreds, man. I'm telling you. Like,
You don't need Jimmy and Joe when you got Justin, Kyle.
Jimmies and Joes matter, Justin. You understand me? All right. I think the Broncos still take that. I know that Colts game they lost, unbelievable. Good for the Colts. They lost to the Chargers. Yeah, I mean, hey, I get it. Like, the Colts are hot, baby. I like it, but I think the Broncos are still going to win that division, even with the Chargers starting 3-0. But
yeah, let me just say this. Let me just say this: the Chargers are 3-0. Everybody else in their division has a losing record right now. Broncos are 1-2. Raiders are 1-2. Chiefs are 1-2. I think it's a hard sell to say the Chargers are making the playoffs at this point. Historically, 3-0 teams almost always make the playoffs if they start out 3-0. I think Chargers are favorites to win this division now, but I agree. I think the Broncos are still going to be good. I would put the Chargers at 1, the Broncos at 2. I would put the Chiefs at 3 and the Raiders at 4. I know Pete Carroll likes to chew his gum, but I don't think the Raiders are getting it done this year.
Yeah, Raiders are bad. Raiders are bad. But man, it's a hard division. It's a tough division.
And the Chargers aren't charging this year. So.
No, they're not charging so far, but Jim Harbaugh will figure out how to steal signs or something. He'll figure it out.
Yeah. The Chargers historically love to charger, which means choke games.
They do have a new coach, though. Jim Harbaugh is a much better coach than the previous. So I agree with you, Hulk. They have choked down, like they have just messed up so many things in the past. Jim Harbaugh is a good coach, even though he steals signs and got banned from the NCAA, which I'm kind of questioning why he's in the NFL and not getting banned. But anyways.
That's crazy.
That's kind of interesting how he got blackballed out of the NCAA and went to the NFL. No punishment.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think the Chargers are there. Can we go to the contenders pretenders, or do we have more games?
I'll quickly abbreviate the last 2 games.
Sorry, yeah.
All right, Patrick Mahomes got a win over the Giants. Not that impressive. And the Washington Redskins continued to show why they're elite. Because they absolutely blew the Raiders out of the water. They scored 41 points. Like we said, Raiders aren't that good. So I think that's pretty much summarizes those 2 games. So yeah, let's get into it. Contenders, pretenders. Let's go.
All right, first team on the contenders, pretenders. The first 6 teams that are listed are undefeated. So, Hulk, you just start us, and then Goggins, and then me. Buffalo Bills.
Contenders. They're obviously favorites for the Super Bowl. So contenders for sure.
Yeah, I mean, contenders, no doubt. Every year for the Bills at this point is about 2 games in January. So,
yep.
Contenders, yeah, same. If we can't beat the freaking Chiefs, maybe they miss the playoffs. That'd be nice. The next
you might not have to worry. You might not have to worry about the Chiefs now this year.
God bless. That'd be amazing. And then the Chargers. Let's go to the Chargers next, guys. 3-0.
I would say the Chargers are contenders. Are we saying contenders for the Super Bowl?
Yeah, Super Bowl.
For the Super Bowl. I think they're a playoff team. I don't think they're Super Bowl contenders. So I'm gonna say pretenders.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're like a firmly B-tier team. They're good, not great, and yeah, I think definitely division contenders / winners. I think, but I don't see them making the AFC Championship.
Yeah, pretender for me too. I think they missed the playoffs. Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Pretenders. They're in a shitty division. and they haven't played anybody good yet. And like we said, they're giving up big points to bad teams. I think they're going to start losing some games quick here.
Yeah, I think small fish, smaller pond for the Buccaneers.
They're
Good
going to make
call.
the playoffs
Same.
because they have to, but they're
Yeah.
going to lose
There's
quickly.
someone has to make it, right?
Yeah.
And then the fourth undefeated team is right now, I think the best team on paper in the NFL based on stats, the Indianapolis Colts.
I'm going to go with Contenders. I am biased, but I'm going to go with Contenders. I just love the momentum. I feel like they're going to carry it through the rest of the season. Daniel Jones is really good. Our running game's really good. Offensive line is really good. Defense is really good. Super Bowl. Let's go. Contenders.
I so deeply want the Colts to be contenders. I don't think I've ever seen a fan see the light the way Hulk did starting 8 months ago. Like, I mean, you were on the Colts when they were, whatever, 4 games under 500. Like, I mean, I think I would love to see the Colts, complete the mission.
Yeah, before the season, by the way, I was not this hyped. For the season, I was expecting another mediocre year, but we're 3-0, and I mean, like I said, it's a fun time to be a Colts fan. If you're a Colts fan, it's a fun time. So,
I mean, the way you were hyping up when we first started working out together, the way you were hyping up the Colts, I was like, what is this guy talking about? Like, how do we really think the Colts are that team? But like, dude, they're good. Like they brought a lot of pieces together. So
yeah. What do you think, Lombardi? Contenders? Contenders.
I think they're a contender, and we had many talks about Indiana Jones. We had many talks about a lot of things, but they're playing even better than my expectations, and stats, they're right there. Jonathan Taylor, best running back in the NFL right now. Daniel Jones, a top 10 quarterback by stats.
Best quarterback in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
MVP.
No, I mean, he's right there. He's right there in the MVP voting, in my opinion, through 3 games. So they're a contender, man. You gotta take them seriously. And then we got another undefeated team, the 49ers.
Pretenders. They're gonna make the playoffs, but they're gonna lose quickly. I think they're just too banged up. When they play somebody really good, like one of the really good teams, I think they're gonna lose. But I think they're gonna make the playoffs. That's what I think.
Yeah, I still think they're going to be third in the NFC West. I think. I mean, they've won a few games, but man, they play sloppy football games. I don't know. I don't think they're going to go very far.
You don't even think they're gonna make the playoffs, huh? That's crazy.
I don't. I still think Rams, Seahawks.
No.
So you're saying pretender for sure. I'm gonna say pretender for the Super Bowl, but I still have them in the playoffs. I don't think they're gonna make. I don't think they're gonna make a run of the Super Bowl, man. But and last undefeated team, the Philadelphia Eagles are 19-1 in their last 20 games and won the Super Bowl last year. Pretender or contender?
Pretenders. I mean, it's hard to vote against them, but I think they're gonna have a down year. I mean, they're undefeated right now? I don't think they've played anybody good. I'm just gonna say I don't think they played anybody good. I mean, they beat they almost lost to the Rams. I mean, come on, they're pretenders. I'm sorry, guys. I just keep clowning on your Rams. I just can't help myself.
Hey, you know what? There's the scoreboard doesn't lie, so we'll see on Sunday. But I will say that the Eagles, I don't think they're contenders, but I just think they win football games. Like they're just kind of, I don't know. They're they have the mojo. They've played in a couple Super Bowls in the last few years, but I don't think this is their year. But man, they're gonna be right there, I think, at the end of the season, just because they know how to win football games.
Yep, playoff team again. Playoff team, probably, but not contenders.
And AJ Brown actually showed up, Goggins, for you, so I'm not sure what happened there, but
AJ Brown woke up
silver
this
lining
week.
of that second half or that fourth quarter. AJ Brown got a couple big receptions. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So you both said contenders or pretenders. Sorry.
We both said pretenders.
Both said pretenders for Super Bowl. I'm gonna stick on the line of they are a contender just because Jalen Hurts is on that team. But I had them losing in that division and making the wild card. So I'm gonna say contender just because they're the heavyweight champ kind of thing. But I don't know if that's fair or not. But I'm gonna go contender still with Jalen Hurts as quarterback. And then let's go to the teams that they're high on our list, maybe our personal list or in the NFL list. So
Yeah.
a team that would fit that bill is the Rams, obviously with Goggins. So what do you think, Hulk?
I think they're pretenders. I don't even think they're on the list here in a couple weeks. I think they get knocked down a peg. They get brought back to reality here in a couple weeks. The Colts are going to be a wake-up call for them for sure. That's what I think. But I might be wrong. I might be doing a million push-ups come this time next week. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I think Rams. I think favorites. No, they're dude. The NFC is not that good this year. I don't think the NFC is that good. Like I don't know. No one through 3 weeks feels like a juggernaut, and like that's just what happened in 2021, where the Rams just slipped through the cracks. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like they have an outside shot.
Do you honestly think they're contenders though? For the Super Bowl?
I think so. Like, I mean, depends how many team. It depends where you're drawing the line on contenders. I think they'll end up being like a top 4 team in the NFC, and they're gonna backdoor it.
So you're saying they're a contender. I'm gonna say they are a pretender. I don't know what else to say. They're a pretender. So, then Packers. We'll go Packers next.
Contenders. Packers are good. I think they had a down week, but I think they're good. I think they're the best team in the NFC. That's what I'm going to say.
I'm worried about the Packers. They lost to a kicker who doesn't know how to spell the last name Schmidt. You need a vowel in your last name. I don't know what else to say. Like sometimes Y, but you know that didn't seem like a real name. That was a hard game to watch. I think they're still contenders. That was just frustrating. Like that's the same way the Packers have lost, you know, every NFC division and championship game for the last 5 years. So like that was definitely, you know, that puts me on notice a little bit. Like
Goggins was having Vietnam flashbacks watching that game.
Dude, literally, I'm like, are we sure we're not playing the Niners right now? Like, what is going on? I don't know. That's just like, I mean, I know Kyle was saying that the Browns, you know, are not letting up a lot of yards this year, but definitely like an early warning sign when they play a legit defense. They got to get it together.
I think you're spot on, Goggins. Yeah, no, it's a warning sign, right?
Yeah,
but they're a contender. I think they're still a contender. They have an elite defense. Their offense had a bad day, but I'm gonna roll with that. They had a bad day. Next, the Ravens.
they're contenders still. I want to say they're pretenders, but you know, actually, no. I don't know. I'm on the line for it, to be honest. I'm going to say they're pretenders. I don't think they're that good. Like I was saying before, I think the Ravens are overhyped. I don't think their defense is elite. I think they have some weapons on offense, but like they've historically choked in the playoffs. I think they're going to probably make the playoffs again, probably choke again to like the Bills or something, or the Colts. I don't know. I just don't think the Ravens are as good as people seem to think they are. So I'm going to go with pretenders.
I think the Ravens are dangerous. I think we touched on this. I think they have a hard schedule. I think they're not going to look like the best team going into the playoffs, but I think they can beat anybody. I'm going to say contenders.
I'm gonna hold my line at contenders only because Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. Nothing else. Their defense is bad. Hulk, you're right. I mean, I think they're Their defense is a problem. So unless they figure that out, they're gonna. But man, they got elite. They got elite players on offense. So it's hard to say they're not a contender, but they're on the line.
I mean,
Lions. What do you got, guys?
Sorry, let me just say one more thing about the Ravens. I think that I think we've just seen time and time again in the NFL. You can either have like a mediocre offense and a mediocre defense, and you'll probably do pretty decent. Or if you have an elite offense, you at least have to have a mediocre defense. And if you have an elite defense, you at least need to have an offense that can somewhat score points. And I think the Ravens have an elite offense, but have a really bad defense. And I think historically, when you have those two extremes, the teams don't do well. Like you need to have, if you're you can have an elite offense, but you need to have a defense that can at least get some stops. You can have an elite defense, but you have to at least have an offense that can score a little bit. So that's where I'm going to leave it with the Ravens. I'm still sticking with pretenders, but for the Lions, the Lions are not playing as well as I thought they would through 3 weeks, but I still think that they're contenders. I think the Vikings are going to drop off. I think we saw some weakness in the Packers. I think the Lions are going to get them in that second game. I think the Lions are going to continue to dominate in division. I still think the Lions are contenders to go to the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, I think contenders. I think that they have actually one of the best offenses in the NFL right now. I mean, week 1 against the Packers was no good for them, but I mean they've scored like 80 points in 90 points the last 2 weeks. Big win against the Ravens tonight. Yeah, they're gonna be around for a while.
Yep,
for sure contender. Yeah, they're right there. They were the number 1 offense in the NFL last year. So, but once again by stats, but and then the Commanders. Maybe that's our last one. If you guys want to finish on the Commanders or Redskins as we call them.
Yeah, the Skins. I think the Skins are. I think the Skins are pretenders. I think they're good. I think they're close to being contenders, but I think they're pretenders. I think they're gonna make a playoffs. I think it's another playoff team. I think there's a lot of playoff teams that are not quite contenders for the Super Bowl. In this list, I'm gonna say pretenders.
Yeah, I'm not. I think pretenders. Probably a playoff team. I don't know. I'm not that hot on the Commanders. I mean, I think Jaden Daniels is a good quarterback, but I don't think the NFC East is that good this year.
Yeah, you're a little down on NFC East in general, which I mean, I see that. I'm only going to say contender because of Jaden Daniels, and they had the number 2 offense in the NFL last year and made the NFC Championship. I only have 3 or 4 teams that are contenders on the NFC side, and Jaden Daniels made the NFC Championship game last year. I'm leaning towards his side, but once again, I understand your guys' point.
Yeah,
do you want to do one more? Do you want to do one more, or you just want to leave it with these teams?
We can do one more. I think with the exceptions in the NFC are the NFC West and the NFC North. Those 2 divisions are really competitive. But yeah, I think you see like most of the undefeated teams right now are in the AFC, right?
You have the Bills, Chargers, Colts, and then you have Tampa Bay, 49ers, Eagles, so it's even 3-3.
Okay. Yeah.
But
yeah,
that's not necessarily, that's just based on schedule, That's
yeah. I think the AFC is stronger. I agree with that.
AFC is stronger for sure. Yeah. But last year the NFC East put 2 teams in the NFC Championship game, so we can't overhype the regular season because sometimes, you know what I mean, like they beat each other up, and then you don't really know who's the best based on that. But I agree with you guys for the most part. I mean, I think we agree on most of these things. Maybe can we do Seattle? Sorry, I forgot to put Seattle on my list. If you guys are okay
we can do
that.
Seattle.
And then maybe we'll end there.
Seattle, I mean, they're pretenders, I think. I don't think And the only reason I say that they're pretenders is just because the Packers are just that much better. I don't know. I think the Packers are the clear favorite to win the NFC, and because I think they're such the clear favorite, I'm gonna have to put the Seattle at contender or at pretenders. That's what I'll say.
I think Seattle's really sneaky this year. I think I don't want to go so far as to say contender, but I do think they're very good. I mean, we've talked about, like, I gave Sam Darnold a hard time, but I do think he's a good quarterback. I think Cooper Kupp can make big plays. I think my boy Kobe Bryant is going to lead the defense. But dude, Seattle's always, you never want to play in Seattle in the playoffs. So
you're thinking pretender or contender? I can't tell there, Goggins.
I don't think that they're like a Super Bowl contender, but I think that they can make a splash.
Yeah, I'm going to go pretender too. I don't think they have quite enough. I agree with Hulk. Packers are favorites, even though, I don't know, Goggins, me and you, we're feeling pretty emotional today, I think, about the Packers, but the odds makers still think the Packers are right there, right?
It's looking better for the Lions after this week.
The Lions, yeah, dude. I mean, the Lions, Packers, Eagles, 49ers, and maybe you edge the Rams. There's like 4 or 5 teams, right? That you're kind of like, okay, those teams are, and the Commanders maybe, based on your opinion, but
yeah,
I think Seattle's probably your 6th or 7th team in there. Tampa Bay's your 7th for sure, because they're just the weakest division winner, right? I don't know. Yeah, I think the NFC is pretty weak, you guys. Is that what you're? I mean, both of you have kind of said that, but AFC might be a little bit more top heavy.
When it came to the predictions, literally it's just those 2 divisions. It's the NFC West and the NFC North that were really hard to predict. The rest of them, they're really cut and dry. Like, you know who the best teams are, you know who the worst teams are. So that's really just my opinion on the NFC. I think it's tougher for the AFC, just kind of predicting who's going to go where. I think there's a much bigger battle for wild card spots in the AFC than there is in the NFC. Is where I'll kind of leave it. But we're slowly approaching 2 hours, so I think this is a good spot to end it. This is supposed to be a 45-minute episode, but it obviously didn't go 45 minutes.
Rest period after dark was hot tonight, boys.
Yeah.
I'm worried about the Packers, man. I'm worried about the Packers. Anytime people are hyping the dog pound, you gotta.
The dog pounds, yeah,
pause.
They're really good over there in the dog pound. Jim Brown, the ghost of Jim Brown. Anyways.
Yeah,
so Thomas.
Yeah, Lombardi, you can sign us off. You can sign us off since you got the power.
All right, boys. It's been a great night of talking football.
That's been the Rest Period. After Dark, episode 4. We're signing off, boys.
Rams, Colts, Super Bowl. Let's go.
No tears. No tears.
Colts, Packers, Super Bowl. Let's go.
Do I push end session for everyone?
Just hit stop recording first.
Okay.
And then it should immediately